after Judge Torres ordered Ripple to pay a reduced fine of $125 million. The company's legal struggle with the Securities and Exchange Commission, CU, is getting closer to a possible settlement. Recently, the company requested to obtain a delay in the payment, which has sparked discussion about the possibility of an appeal to the SEC before the deadline of October 6th. Legal specialists have suggested that this action could buy time for other legal procedures, the quiet moment before the storm. The case that Ripple is currently facing against the United States Securities and Exchange Commission has been going on for almost 4 years, and it continues to be one of the most talked about subjects in the cryptocurrency industry. It is important to remember that the regulatory body filed a lawsuit against the business in December 2020, accusing it of receiving more than $1.3 billion in an unregistered securities offering through the sale of its native cryptocurrency. XRP, taking into consideration the significant event that occurred a month ago, it appears that the conflict will eventually come to an end. During that period, Judge Torres decided that the transactions of selling XRP on secondary markets to individual investors did not constitute securities transactions. Ripple, on the other hand, was compelled to pay a fine of $125 million for violating several securities regulations. Even though the amount may appear to be large, it represents a 94 reduction from what the SEC had previously requested amount. It is for this reason that a great number of industry participants like Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, considered the ruling of the court to be a significant triumph. The chief financial officer, Stuart Alderotai, gave his assurance that the penalty would be paid in cash from the company's balance sheet, while the executive stated that the company would follow the verdict. On the other hand, the Securities and Exchange Commission has not disclosed any information regarding its future move. Market observers, however, believe that the government is more likely to appeal Judge Torres' judgment when taking into consideration the initial proposal that it brought forward. October 6 is the cutoff date for the completion of such a development. In the most recent documentation, Ripple is rumored to be on the verge of paying the multi-million-dollar punishment during the first week of September, according to several analysts and members of the XRP community. On the contrary of what was generally anticipated, the company submitted a new application in which it asked for a stay on the monetary element of the judgment that was entered by the court 1 month ago. The commission agreed with the proposed terms, and the delay of the payment was disclosed by its legal representatives. There were heated conversations in the area as a result of the migration, with some experts reading it as a forerunner to a possible appeal. Fred Rispel, an attorney from the United States, was one of the individuals who shared the thesis and stated, "I believe that the likelihood of an appeal is increased by the fact that all of this effort was put into forming a trust for the cash." In the end, however, this is simply the most predictable move for the SEC to buy time until the deadline to appeal on October 7th. In recent times, a wallet that is associated with Ripple has sent 100 million XRP, which is equivalent to 19 million tokens, to the Bitso exchange. It was Whale Alert that brought attention to this huge transaction, which was estimated to be worth around $57 million. The transfer of XRP has caused the community to express alarm because it corresponds with current issues that Ripple is facing in terms of regulatory oversight. Considerable curiosity has been fueled by the fact that the deadline for the SEC's appeal, which is on October 6th, is drawing near. A wallet associated with Ripple has moved 100 million XRP despite the legal pressure. An address that is affiliated with Ripple is said to have carried out a significant transfer of XRP today, as reported by Whale Alert, a prominent tracking tool. The transaction entailed the transfer of 100 million XRP, an unknown wallet. Following the first transfer, 19 million XRP to another Ripple wallet, which then rapidly dispersed these monies to several different exchanges. For example, 19 million XRP was transferred to Bitso, while 257,000 XRP was transferred to Bitstamp. Bitso received the larger portion of the transaction. Ripple is now making its way through the SEC case, and this transfer is significant since it coincides with a crucial phase for the company. Given that the time for appealing the decision is drawing near, the wallet may be connected to Ripple attorneys who are getting ready to disperse the trust fund. This is especially true because Judge Torres gave the XRP firm permission to postpone the payment of $125 million and to keep the amount in trust until clarification is provided on the appeal by October 6th. Continued scrutiny of cryptocurrencies is indicated by SEC Chair Gensler during an interview with CNBC on September 18. Gary Gensler, the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, reaffirmed his position about the regulation of cryptocurrencies. In his statement, Chair Gensler stressed the importance of protecting individual investors' interests. This is a field that has always been filled with dishonest individuals, con artists, and swindlers, and it continues to be so. In terms of the fundamental safeguards that are included in the securities rules, there is nothing about the industry that is incompatible with them. When I say that, I mean that even if you keep things on a record ledger or accounting ledger that is called the blockchain, investors still need to have certain fundamental protections. As a result, I would argue that there is a great deal of clarity that is referred to as the United States securities laws that have been effective for 90 years. Particularly noteworthy is the fact that Gensler's remarks suggested that the government is still dedicated to regulating the digital asset area through enforcement processes. Regulatory practices will be the subject of testimony from the SEC to Congress. On September 24, the United States House Committee on Financial Services announced that they will be holding a full committee hearing on the topic of oversight of the Securities and Exchange Commission. The time of the interview with Gensler coincided with one of the announcements. For the first time since 2019, all 5 commissioners of the Securities and Exchange Commission will appear before the committee to testify. The Financial Services GOP has brought attention to recent situations in which the Securities and Exchange Commission has been subjected to legal opposition for reckless agendas and abuses of power. There were cases brought by the SEC against Ripple, Grayscale, and Debtbox among these. There's a possibility that the examination of Sexy Chair Gensler and the SEC's regulation of the digital asset industry by us lawmakers could be beneficial for the price trends of cryptocurrencies. The SEC's intention to continue targeting the cryptocurrency field, on the other hand, raises the possibility of an appeal against the decisions that were made in the case of CVS. Ripple. To submit an appeal, the SEC has until October 7 to do so. BitHom's data also reveals that the wallet in question has been consistently active, as seen by the fact that it has been involved in multiple transactions over the past week. This includes an earlier transaction that took place on September 17th, in which 50 million XRP were transferred to the same recipient wallet. This transaction suggests that there is a pattern in the activity of the wallet amid regulatory investigation. The conjecture extends to the likelihood of a sell-off, particularly in light of the subsequent movement of a portion of the XRP that was moved to exchanges. The reaction of the market and speculation. Following the completion of the transaction, the value of XRP demonstrated a little increase. The information that has been provided is not intended to be trading advice. There is no responsibility for any investments that are made based on the information that is provided on this page. Before making any decision about investments, we strongly advise conducting independent research and consulting with a knowledgeable professional.